Welcome to Grade Pending, the show where we talk about movies, music, entertainment, things like that. We give our reviews on it, give our grades on it, talk about it. We have our unique grading system, awesome, which is the top of the top, the cream of the crop, the best of the best. We got dope, which is very good, not perfect, not the bestest, but hey, it's a good show, good piece of entertainment. We got meh, which basically is all right, or watched it once, not trying to watch it no more. And then we got straight trash. I'm never watching it again. It was hot garbage. Get this out my face. Why did I spend money on this? However you feel about it. All right. And we typically give our independent grades, but today we got a couple things we got to catch up on. So we're going to, run through them one by one, keep it moving, and talk about them all. But as always, there will be spoilers. To talk about what we're going to talk about, we have to talk about it. So you'll see timestamps below, so you can fast forward to what you want to skip to, or bypass what you haven't seen yet. But once you see it, come on back and rewatch it again, over and over again, over and over again, over and over again. Like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff as well. But today, right now, we got a couple movies to talk about. We're going to talk about, first off, Final Destination, Bloodlines, which came out May 16th. We're going to talk about what they coined as Stitch Impossible, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, and the Lilo and Stitch live action remake was released on the same day, last Friday. And then we're also going to talk about the Last of Us season 2, which finished on Max. So again, if you haven't seen those things yet, go watch them. Then you can come back and enjoy the fun with us, and see what we're talking about if we do, drop some things that only reference from those shows and movies. So let's start again with Final Destination, Bloodlines. We've all seen it, yes?
See.
See, all right. So, Otto, talk to me. Well, both of you guys. You guys are the horror movie fans. Would you consider it horror? Would you? What do you call Final Destination? What do you think?
You're the only clown that doesn't know what horror is, bro.
Am I?
Sinners is a horror movie, and so is this. But we're not doing grades.
We are. I'm introing in because we're doing a different format here. We're doing so. You want to go with the grades first?
The rules doesn't let us know he's changing the rules. The fuck? Who's talking first? What's happening?
So Otto, what's your grade?
What happens after this guy's changing the whole script? Yeah, the AI took over, bro. The entity took you, bro. I know what's happening.
What's your grade, Otto?
Well, I thought I was going to talk about the movie, bro. We're not even.
I just said we're going to talk about it.
All right, hold on, guys. This is a new format where you just make shit up as you go along. It was dope, bro. It was fucking dope. Right.
All right, we got a dope from Otto. John, what do you call it?
I also go a high dope.
Okay.
I definitely loved it.
I will go dope as well. Typical. It's in the same vein as all of the Final Destination movies. They gave this one a little more of a backstory to it and stuff, but I think it was still dope. It is still what you go to see it for. So now we can talk about it since you did the format.
Wow, no more mini reviews. You heard it here first, kids. This guy changed the rules. May 25. Yeah, man, it was good. I was worried it wasn't going to be good, but it was good. It was very good. At first, I was like, oh man, it's going to be this. I avoided the trailers obviously as much as possible, but I saw that, it started with that big set piece that was on the poster, but that took place in the past, and I was like, I really don't want to be stuck in the past. And then we got to the future, and I was like, all right, Asian family, I really don't care about Asian people, but It was good. It was good.
He said that.
Being entertaining.
He said that, and they're half Asian. It's only the dad. Right? It's a mixed family.
A real racist looked into it, so he looked into it. I don't know what his problem.
You could see they weren't all Asian. It was only him.
But anyway, then the goth kid showed up, and I was like, finally, representation. A guy who's got the same piercings as John.
And speaking of half, he also wasn't fully what you thought he was.
Well, yeah, But anyway,
I,
you go to.
I
Sorry, go
thought
ahead.
that was funny because that scene was actually one of the main scenes that they showed and kind of gave away in early previews and trailers and things, just to
Which
find
one?
out the golf kid in the tattoo shop.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah,
They
okay.
they they kind of
The fake
showed
out, the
that
fake out, yeah.
a while ago, just to find out he didn't die. So I was like, oh, okay, that was a twist. He come walking out the next day with a juice box. It's just like, yeah, I can't die, I'm immortal. Just to find out, no, that's not your daddy. I definitely thought that was a nice twist on the Final Destination format, and even though, like I said, they gave that away, so it was smart of them to use that throwaway as a misdirection. So I thought that was smart because we all seen how marketing can just give movies away and things at times. So I thought that was cool. So
I was gonna say that unlike Sinners that advertised vampires and it wasn't a vampire movie, this advertised a bunch of deaths and it was a bunch of deaths and it was great. And everyone that died didn't get undone like in Thunderbolts. This was a movie where people died and people stayed dead, and it was great. They killed kids. That kid got crushed by a fucking piano. My entire audience erupted, bro.
oh yeah, he
The
was a jerk. Nobody liked that kid, so
he deserved it. Yeah. The
it was all his
spoiler.
fault anyway.
The final kill, a throwback to the logs from FD2. Come on, man. That literally got me like an
I was
explosion
gonna
of
say,
the
you didn't
final.
think that was just like random though?
No, because they teased it. They showed
They
the logs. The logs have been, like they
right.
didn't come out of nowhere. John,
Like
you're being very
yes.
quiet on this murder movie. I know you're lost in your own eyes, but please tell us
Nah,
more.
when I was enjoying you guys talk, no, I fucking loved it. I thought the kills were great. With Final Destination, you're always trying to figure out, how they're gonna kill somebody, what they're gonna do. The fact they keep coming different ways to do it, awesome. I love the little Tony Todd tribute. Like, apparently, he went off script and did his own thing for that ending part, talking about how long it lasts and how long he's gonna be here and enjoy his life. That's pretty
R.I.P.
dope.
As he looked
Like I
in the
said,
camera
I
to
love
us
the kills.
too. He was talking to the viewers, so I thought that was a little fourth wall break.
Yeah. Like I said, I love the kills. I think the grandma is probably my favorite kill, even though it was super CGI'd. I still think because it's like you knew it was gonna happen, and the way it still happened, I was like, yes. But I still
You
enjoyed it.
mean
Like I said, I
when she
enjoyed it.
walked out, she was like, all right, fuck it, I'm
Yeah,
gonna show you. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Like
Interesting.
you knew bitch was dead, but like the way they did it, I was like, I like the whole jaw getting split and shit like that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I was also worried, like I was worried they're gonna stay too much in the past, and I was like, oh, where's this going? What they're gonna do? But like I said, I
Ron does
enjoyed
like
it.
losing people.
I think it's one of the I always stuck up for Final Destination though because I like the movies, I like the kills. I think it's one of the better franchises out there when it's a consistent overall. And even like the one before this one where they tied everything up at the end. It
Beautiful.
was really fucking good. So I enjoyed it. Obviously this made a decent amount of money for a horror film, so they're gonna make another one. Like,
Most of the
you-
franchise, yeah.
yeah. So you're gonna get more money. But like I said, I enjoyed it. I love the kills. I thought it was great. I thought, the little kid becoming Tony Todd later on was like his character was dope. I thought like the way like I said, the way they did it, I thought was great. I enjoyed it.
So you said grandma was your favorite kill. Out of what was your favorite kill?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you the same question. For
I
me, it
got you
was
to it first. Haha.
definitely the CAT scan or whatever the fuck machine that is, the MRI machine, whatever it was, the magnet. Once you saw the nipple rings and then you saw the cock fucking Prince Adam get pulled, and I was like, oh, this is great.
I don't know why I thought of Cartman when that happened. I thought of Cartman doing that.
Awesome, yeah. I
I
thought
don't
of
know why.
my friend and former guest of the show, Justin, and he knows
Shout out to
why.
Justin.
And, shout out to Justin and his little piercing hips.
I thought the funniest one to me was the daughter when the garbage truck came by,
It was a great one.
because it was just like they were just talking and it happened in the background. It just made it so funny.
And it happened exactly the way that they said it was going to happen. So
Yeah, and then you see it go boop boop the ball and she just get thrown it. I thought that was hilarious. That was the best one to me. That was the best one to me. So unanimous, dope all
Dope,
around.
yeah. Dope all around.
We all agree that let's see how long that lasts. Um, so let's go with Lilo and Stitch. Let's start on a happy note. Kid friendly.
But I think I'm the only
John,
one who watched it, right?
exactly. See, you see where I was going with that. So, John, tell us, Lilo and Stitch. How do you feel about that?
So I'm not a fan of the Disney live action movies personally. So I was, my daughter's the one. My daughter's a huge Stitch fan. So my daughter, she wanted to see it. She was like, I got the tickets as soon as it came out. Her and all her friends like took up the entire front row, like well the row. It was like 14 of us in there, a bunch of kids. Like it was, it was cool. It was, like overall getting to watch it, and then the movie starts and it starts playing, and like, this is a really good fucking film. Like I really enjoyed it overall. It was good. You had like my daughter wanted to cry at certain parts, and I was like, it brought the emotion out of it. And I was like, I'm loving it. So like I said, overall the movie, to me, it's the best live action Disney movie they did in my personal opinion. After that would probably be Aladdin, but I'm not a fan of live action movies. Most of them I think were trash. I didn't like Lion King. I didn't see Snow White. I didn't like Lion King. I didn't like Mufasa. I didn't like Beauty and the Beast. I didn't like Cinderella, Milan. I didn't like none of those. But I did like Aladdin. But now this is probably my favorite one, and I do think this is gonna beat a lot of records overall for like obviously for live action Disney movies. But it's doing really well right now. But I recommend everyone go see it. Take your kids if you got kids. Go watch it yourself. They did a great job with the movie overall. Like I said, I enjoyed it, and I'm going with awesome.
Awesome.
Holy
Okay.
Awesome.
And we
wow.
can't combat that because we haven't seen it. So
Said you, motherfucker, watch me. All right, listen to me here, John. I just have a few questions. This movie, the original, came out in 2002. I was in the Dominican Republic, stuck against my will with a broken back. So somehow I missed this movie. I never saw it. One of my closest friends loves Lilo and Stitch, but he's a grown ass man now, so he didn't go. I'm curious, John, because how is
I think you're gonna ask the same question I was gonna ask.
This came out of nowhere because this thing made $1 billion, like you said. But you told me that Ariel, your daughter, was a big fan. How the fuck? Like, from what? Did you show her the original animated movie, or?
Well, yeah, she's watched the original. Obviously, like she loves the original. She watched part 2. She watched little mini shorts and all that stuff. But it actually started with Stitch, which I never understood myself. Stitch is a real popular Disney character in general. Like the Funko Pops, the toys, the dolls, they all sell without him having a movie before they even announced this movie. Even his popcorn bucket was badass. I got my daughter the popcorn bucket and the drink, and I got her the whole like set. Even the popcorn bucket is pretty badass, even though it was fucking $50. But anyway, but the popcorn bucket was dope. The drink was dope, and but yeah, so much merchandise from Stitch, like everything. Like I mean, me and my daughter got like matching little bracelets. I got Stitch, he got Angel. There's so much fucking product out there of Stitch that he was real popular. And when they announced the movie, it got super popular. Like, even the teaser had like 1 million fucking views in a matter of a few hours. And then the movie came out, and like I said, I mean, the theater was packed. Like I said, I enjoyed the fuck out of it. But yeah, from all the little dolls and toys and Funko shit, that's how my daughter knew about them. Then I was like, there's a movie, right? And then put it on for Disney Plus, and she watched the movie, and she fell in love with it even more since then.
I was gonna say, so you've seen the original as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Would you say the original is better than the remake? I guess you kind of already answered that, but you said you liked the remake too, so.
Yeah, I like the original. They did change some things, but I do like the remake better overall. Like it has more rewatch value for me. Yeah, I do like the remake a lot better. The only thing I think they dropped the ball on, but it probably has something to do with money, and it could have been because of Mission Impossible's fault. And the reason why I say that is because in the original, the main CIA agent is played by Ving Rhames, and in this one, it should have been fucking Ving Rhames. He's supposed to be this big, brolic, like deep voice guy. Like that's my only little. I would have hired Ving Rhames again, but I'm pretty sure either contract money or Mission Impossible was the reason why it didn't happen because they came out around the same time. But that's a small little critique overall. The guy who played him was fine. It wasn't deep voice Ving Rhames.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, we got a awesome, and it's unanimous. I guess we can't.
Don't you guys have the movie pass? Go watch it.
I ain't got no kids. I'm not going in the theater like,
yeah. Just go by yourself for a 2:00 showing with popcorn and look weird.
That's even worse.
Wear a disguise.
Yeah, no, I'm good. But you brought it up, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, not Dead Reckoning Part 2 as it was originally supposed to be titled. They remixed that all the way up. You guys, I've spoken about it before numerous times. I despise the Mission Impossible movies. I stopped watching them. I gave up after like the second or third one. Part 2, when he blew up the door on the villain's lair and just walked by the door and some doves flew in and nobody shot at him, it pissed me off. I had enough. And I preferred when it was originally spy, sneaking in, stuff like that, like the first movie was, and then it completely went to just Tom Cruise hanging and running from stuff. But because my mom was such a big, Tom Cruise fan in general, and the Mission Impossible, fan, I had to finish the story. Hence the
Nice,
shirt. Hi,
nice,
mom.
nice, nice.
So I watched it for her. And I remembered why I don't like the series. It was boring. I was bored. I'm sorry. The action sets were great, but it was too much talking to each other and just tell you the plan, do the plan fails. Tell you the next plan, do the plan fails. Tell you the plan. It was just too much talking. Too much talking. Tom saved it, hanging from planes, climbing up planes, punching dude twice. I don't know how you get leverage to knock somebody out with one punch while you're holding onto a wing of a plane. Only Tom Cruise. Running
I know.
places, running 3 hours long. I'm gonna still go with dope, just because um, there was a guy in the theater that was snoring. Okay, I didn't fall asleep, but there was a
Really?
dude snoring, like literally, like snoring, like he was like had a rough day or something. It was that bad for him. But I stayed awake. Like I said, I did enjoy the action scenes, Haley Atwell, and just Tom running like I thought it was. So I'm going dope. John, what you got?
John didn't
So
see it.
I didn't watch Mission Impossible. So
Okay, okay.
I actually like the films. However, the last one, it was a little long. I didn't get a chance to. I didn't watch it in theater. So when I watched it, like I was like, damn, I don't got time for this right now, and I just didn't watch it. So now I gotta watch the second one. But thanks to Otto, I actually finally got the movie pass thing. So I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Thanks to Otto, I've been trying to get you on A list for the longest.
Well, no, I'm a
We
Regal
don't do
person.
that here.
Boo! You knew me longer. Never mind. Otto, what's your grade for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning?
I'm pretty sure I knew John before you, but I don't know. We can talk about this later.
No. Wait,
Uh,
did you? No.
I don't
No.
know. Same
You you
time, man.
you in the Dominican Republic, like you said. When
That's
Lilo
fair.
Stitch came
That's
out.
fair. That's fair.
We do want to hear about the
Uh,
broken back, but that's another time.
okay. So, unlike this fucking clown shoes over here, I'm more like his mom, who loves Tom Cruise movies. And
We know
yeah,
Tom Cruise taught you English. We know.
that's
We
right.
know.
Yeah, yeah. If you're a fan of the series, you know my history with Tom. Uh, but yeah, so Fallout, which is part 6, was one of the greatest action movies ever made. Dead Reckoning was a little bit of a disappointment. I forget if we GP'd it, but if we did, I probably still would have given it a dope. I just wasn't crazy about the ending because the ending was a lot of CG, and it was stuff from Uncharted 2, which, if nobody ever played the game, whatever, but I did, so I knew exactly what was going to happen. I wasn't crazy about it. There was a lot of expectation for this one. Dead Reckoning Part 1 didn't make the money it was supposed to make because of fucking Barbenheimer, if I recall. So there's a lot of pressure on this to market it as the final film. This was not supposed to be the final film. This is supposed to be Dead Reckoning Part 2. It is very clear that this is Dead Reckoning Part 2. This is not the final film. Spoilers, the Tom doesn't die at the end. This can still absolutely keep going. To Paul's point, which he rarely makes a good one, but there was a lot of exposition. Sorry. So it's a lot of talking. It's a lot of like, oh, this is the plan, and then kind of like what he said.
I was right.
But the set pieces, which is similar to Final Destination, and to Paul's point earlier, which he doesn't like, that it's about Tom Cruise running at stuff. This is about Tom Cruise running at stuff and being the best stuntman in the world. That's right. Fuck you, Jackie Chan. Tom's the GOAT.
Ooh, hey,
Tom is the GOAT. Hey,
Karate
I
Kid's
let you
in
be a
theater
pervert
now.
and go to Lilo and Stitch with little kids. Let me give my piece. Tom's the GOAT, bro. Tom's the GOAT. And Tom was fucking in that submarine and he got naked for no reason and it was great.
No reason.
And then he was in the sky and he was doing that shit on planes and it was fucking amazing. But you had to sit the 2 hours to get to that stuff. So, it could have been. It could have been.
You had me at Tom Cruise naked.
That's right.
He's wearing drawers. He's wearing drawers.
Ah, okay, forget it.
Maybe in your theater, not in mine. But anyway.
Well, I don't know what movie you saw. I saw it in IMAX.
But yeah, but if you care about the characters, then you don't mind that there's just a lot of talking because it's setting up the stakes, and this is like global fucking stakes.
What stakes?
If this wasn't the end of the world, sir. If this wasn't,
ooh, like every other movie with an evil villain.
It's weird because I let him talk, but now he's just gonna talk all over my fucking head. If this wasn't Tom Cruise, then it wouldn't. Honestly, it wouldn't get the dope because it was, but it was Tom Cruise, so we don't even have to have that conversation. So yeah, it's gonna get. I'm honestly just relieved that it didn't suck. I was really worried it was gonna suck. The early buzz was that it wasn't that good, and I was very nervous. But it was good. Not amazing. Not a fucking awesome as apparently Lilo and Stitch was. But you got to see fucking Tom Cruise fucking do the shit that nobody else does. Put on a fucking spectacle, non CG bullshit, and fucking if there's a perfect movie if you take the first 2 acts of Dead Reckoning Part 1 and then the third act of fucking Dead Reckoning Part 2, aka Final Reckoning, there's a perfect movie there, but that's just not what happened. So yeah.
So you
Still
said dope?
Yeah.
We actually agreed. Wow.
Yeah, I'm really shocked.
I'm shocked as well.
Shocked.
Like I said, I mean, Tom does what Tom. Well, Tom did what Tom does. I hated that the only person that dies is the black guy. You had to kill Luther after all these years.
Hold on, there's a sex toy
Special
on the
guest
screen
from
right now.
from Stitch
John,
here.
is that the bucket? Did you fuck it? Like, what are we looking at right now?
Not yet. I'm still using the Dune bucket for that. The mouth is wider. I got a lot of girth. So the mouth is wider on the Dune bucket.
I just like to say, we give Tom and Mission Impossible a pass. It's basically Fast and Furious with less CGI.
But is it about family?
Well, technically, his team, Haley, same thing like Fast and Furious. His wife died, then she didn't die, but then he did. Then he got a new girl, but then she died. Then she did not. This guy, Luther, Benji always come back. It's family. It's a team. What you call it? We got Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy. She's part of the family. The black dude who was taking her to the prison, they didn't kill him, so he's like, yo, can I roll with y'all? I bet. Like, he just made a team just like Dom makes a family.
As soon as that black guy joined the IMF, I was like, they're gonna kill Luther. That's crazy. You can only have one black person.
Yeah, I guess so.
I was like, God damn it, they're gonna kill Luther.
Luther just has some weird disease from out of nowhere, and he becomes the heart of the movie because they had to have somebody give a final speech at the end of the movie, so they couldn't just have him say it. He had to pre-record it. Like, it's Fast and Furious. I'm sorry. It's just Fast and Furious with less CGI. You know, Tom is actually doing the stuff.
Hey, Vin Diesel does his own stunts.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Paul Walker did. You see how that worked out?
No Paul Walker slander. We're not gonna let that slide.
I'm just happy that, like, you know, I think this is it. It's gonna end. Like, it's not gonna make because
Do you think so?
Because of Lilo and Stitch, it's not gonna make the crack of money that they wanted to. So
okay.
I think it's a fair ending, and it's fine. It's fine for now. Top Gun 3 is in the works, so you know.
Starring Michael B. Jordan.
Maybe.
as his son that he didn't know he had. And he's gonna teach him how to fly. Oh wait, maybe it'll be Val Kilmer's character's son since he passed away. That's how they did Creed.
He did have a black wife. Yes, I remember.
There you go. We just made the script. There you go. All right. Last but not least, The Last of Us, season 2. A lot of hate on the internet. We've been talking about it. I've been, going back and forth with you, talking about it all season long. I played the first game, didn't finish it. Never played the second game, so I went into this blind. I'm not a PlayStation guy. It is what it is. I watched this season. I had no problems with it. I seen the internet, people, saying Bella should have been recasted. People just a lot of Bella jokes. People mad that, spoiler alert, that Pedro Pascal's character passed, that he died. But I mean, it had to happen. It was inevitable. I had no problems with the season. And we were talking about horror films earlier and how Sinners had no vampires. Well, The Last of Us barely has any zombies. It's not about the zombies. It's about the us and the title of the show. Same way Sinners is about the people. It's not about the vampires. They're the understory in the whole thing. So there you go. Boom, roasted.
So no.
but
episode 2 had like 1 million infected. They're infected, not zombies, but
they blew the budget in episode 2. Yeah,
they weren't in the last 2 episodes.
1 million infected.
They weren't in the last 2 episodes of the show. They're not. It's
You
not
had
about
enough in
them.
season 2, episode 2.
They're not about. It's not about them, guys. It's my turn to talk. All right, it's my turn to talk. To give it a grade,
That's it.
um,
Bring Stitch back.
I feel like I feel like it's basically a shorter season of Walking Dead. I feel like I've kind of seen a similar thing, but it's more specific to you know uh, 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 Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal's characters and how their bond and how the who's right, who's wrong, what do you do when you think you're right, when you think you're wrong, and the point of view of the vengeance and the payback and all that kind of stuff that's going on. So again, I enjoyed all of it. I'm going with awesome just because I really
Wow.
had no issues with it.
Holy shit.
And like I said, maybe it's because I didn't play the game and I'm not, tainted by people that had an issue with that. But I really had no problems with this season. Hate to say it, but Max did it again. Soon to be HBO Max again. Another good show that they produced and put out. I wish the season was a little bit longer. These episodes ran through pretty fast. But yeah, I had no issues with it. Otto, talk to me. What do you think?
Episode 2 and episode 6 were awesome, but the rest of them were meh. So,
Really?
and,
Okay.
yeah, and it was 7 total. So, unfortunately, it's a meh for me.
Wow.
Yeah, man. And but then let me explain.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike Paul, I'm an American, and I played the game when it came
Are
out. And
you
it
though? Tom Cruise taught you English, so.
yeah, just like he does to every American.
I think that makes him more American that Tom Cruise taught him English.
So let me explain. I'm not a fucking incel troll from the internet. A potato head doesn't bother me. Bella doesn't look like potato. It's not her fault. So like, who cares? And then Joel dying. Yeah, I experienced that in the game, and it sucked back then. But I wasn't like, I'm gonna stop playing the game. What am I, John? No, I kept playing the game because I'm a fucking real American. Abby was not a muscle mommy like in the game when she should have been, and it sucked that she wasn't. But Caitlyn, whatever the fuck her name, she's a good actress, and I dealt with it. It is what it is. There's no steroids in the apocalypse. It's fine. But ultimately the script versus the fucking game, it was nonsense. It was fucking absolute nonsense. And I couldn't not compare it because it's an adaptation. So like as much as I wanted to be like Paul and going blind and be like, yay, stuff's happening. It doesn't because I know the superior fucking thing that happened. So like it sucks. It fucking sucks because I really wanted this to be great. Like I got into a bar fight over The Last of Us Part 2, the video game, because I had a t-shirt. And I go, oh, that game sucks. It was like, fuck you. And then it was, that's the kind of shit that like from the internet into real life. And I was like, I'm so excited for this because I know the internet's gonna be mad, but it's gonna be great because I believe in the actors. And then the script was shit. And I was like, how the fuck did this happen? And it's because Craig Ballsack fucking wrote most of it instead of Neil. And it just fucking fell apart. It was too short. I knew where the cliffhanger was gonna be, but like it didn't work. They should have just fucking done the whole fucking second game instead of splitting it into 2 seasons. They got greedy. And now 50% of the people fucking saw the finale. The people that saw the finale part 1. John gave up watching it, so I really want to know John's opinion. Did he really just stop watching it because they killed Pedro? Because John doesn't like Pedro, so I thought that would make him happy. But yeah, unfortunately, overall, I got to give it a meh. Sorry, go ahead, John.
I'm shocked.
No, one, I'm a fan of the game. I do hate when people complain about things without knowing the source material first. So like the fact that people are mad that Pedro died, well, Joel died, is like, well, that's your fault for not the source material. That same thing with like Walking Dead. I read the comics way before the fucking shit, so I knew what characters, and so I know they're gonna change things. But for the most part, I was like, I know it's gonna happen, and it's just the way it works. But anyway, yes, just like the game, I gave up a little bit after Joel died. The game itself, I played for a little bit longer, and after a while, I was like, it's not as fun without Joel, at least in my opinion. And then with the movie, so my problem with Pedro is separate from this. All right, we'll go with that afterwards. So with Joel, like I like his character overall, and I think he was the better character with more, his backstory, his hurt, losing his daughter, all that stuff. Like I love his character. I really don't give a fuck about Ellie's character. Like I never really cared. Like besides the fact that she's immune. Besides that, like I always thought her character was a pain in the fucking ass, and I hate even the girl who played her is a pain in the fucking ass. So I didn't mind as much. I got a couple episodes in after, like I think I got halfway through because it's just 7 episodes, and I got to the middle of episode 4 or beginning of episode 4, and I was like, I'm really not interested anymore. I don't watch this anymore. So I for what I watched, unfair score, I would still go with meh. I mean, you're not fully watching it. It's not a fair score personally, but yeah. And then my thing with Pedro is that like he's a good actor, but now he's like Samuel Jackson. He's like in everything,
What's
and it
wrong with
becomes
that?
after a while it
So
becomes
you don't
annoying.
like Sam Jackson either? What are you saying right now?
Right.
I
You
love
have a
Samuel
motherfucking
Jackson.
wallet. You have a bad motherfucking wallet.
I love Samuel Jackson, but just like Eminem putting out 1 million albums, it hurts your legacy if they're not all great quality.
So you're saying what bad stuff?
So Snakes on a Plane brings Samuel Jackson down?
No.
That
Hold
and
on.
Jumper,
What
without a
bad
doubt.
stuff was Pedro in?
And
I
Jumper?
hated Gladiator 2. So Gladiator 2 is one of them. I didn't like Gladiator 2. I didn't like. I thought it was alright, but his character was like Last of Us is. I like him for Last of Us, but I gotta go through his. If I go through his movie filmography, I can start picking it apart. I can't do it right now, but I've seen most of the stuff. I did it. Like, if you've seen Freaky Tales, I enjoyed him in Freaky Tales. I thought he did a good job in that.
Because last review we did, you said you saw him in a movie, you forgot the name, but I realized it was Freaky
Yeah,
Tales.
it was Freaky Tales. Yeah, which is a dope fucking movie, by the way.
So I should watch it? All right, I'll watch it.
Yeah, nah, it's definitely a dope ass movie. Mad bugged out, but it's a dope ass movie. Paul, you would love it too. You should check it out.
Okay. What is it?
So,
I gotta mix everything.
John, I implore
is it
you.
streaming or? Wait, what?
I don't know if it's streaming. I saw it in the movie theaters.
Oh, okay. What were you saying, Otto?
No, I was asking. I'm telling John, like, I know he tapped at 4, but skip 5, watch 6, because 6 is all about Joel, and you like Joel. It's a full Joel episode, so you should definitely watch it just for that. You don't have to finish it. Just watch it.
A chance.
Yeah. And honestly, since you're a father, for sure, definitely check out episode 6, and I would love your perspective on that. We can follow up on it.
Yeah,
I got you.
I agree.
Do a recap on it. So,
Paul, you were
next?
telling me. Sorry, Paul, you were telling me in the group chat that this show made you cry like a bitch.
No, I didn't say that. No.
Yeah, you did. I had the screenshot.
Show. I didn't.
I have the screenshot.
I didn't say that. No. I
Go
said
ahead.
my eyeball started sweating a little bit.
Okay. It was hot that day.
It was hot the humidity and stuff in the air, the pollen and things, and you know what I'm saying.
Now,
John cried during Lilo and Stitch.
John probably.
No, that's true. I dropped a tear for Tony Todd's little tribute.
So he cried during that too.
That's the motherfucking candy.
I'm not shaming you. I cry during almost everything. I fucking love crying. I cry every time I see Tom Cruise. But my thing is, this was supposed to make me cry because the game made me cry like a fucking vagina. But this did nothing. It did.
Well, again,
nothing.
I didn't play the game, so this was my first time experiencing the story. So we shared that.
So John, watch episode 6.
Last of Us 1 is a masterpiece.
I thought season 1 was done much better.
I'm saying Last of Us, the game, like coming from a fellow Xbox head, Last of Us, the first game is a fucking masterpiece. It's a flawless game in my opinion. Like, it's phenomenal. So I think you should play through it.
I think Paul is out the game, and if I'm mistaken, you can correct me. But I think you don't play games anymore, right?
Not as much as I used to. I mean, I am waiting for Grand Theft Auto 6, obviously. But again, I would play it.
You beat with Grand Theft Auto 5 in 2013. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I beat Red Dead Redemption 2. Was the last game I beat.
All right, you guys are right. That's a long ass game too. So respect your shit.
Yeah. That was the last game I actually, like, the last story driven game that I actually finished and went through. So yeah. But,
you should get the Terrifier hack and slash game in October. That's what you should do.
I think I'm good on that.
I'm definitely buying it.
So we covered the most recent things. Did we miss anything? I know you see a bunch of stuff, extra things. What else?
The rehearsal, boys and girls. Watch The Rehearsal on HBO Max. It's way better than fucking Last of Us Season 2. It's amazing. That made me cry like a bitch. It's fucking funny and it's fucking amazing. And watch it. Not these two clowns. They don't know shit. But you, if you're watching this and you can hear my voice, go watch The Rehearsal and then thank me in the comments. Carry on.
I'm surprised you didn't do another push for Magazine Dreams.
Magazine Dreams, boys and girls. Great point.
But I still haven't seen that yet. I gotta watch that.
Well, I'm waiting for the hit streaming service.
It was on sale Memorial Day, so I bought it for like $17 in 4K. Now I can see Jonathan Majors. Ooh, I mean, definitely check it out, boys and girls. You'll enjoy it. Definitely worth it.
So what's next? Like, I know for me, the next big movie, like actual big movie, is 28 years later for me, and then obviously the superhero movies, but.
Well, John, I told you this that the streets are saying that the #1 horror movie is the one that comes out on Thursday.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely down to go watch that. I just it's not like it's not to people. It's not like a big movie that they're gonna go. I think it's gonna be fucking great because I loved fucking Talk to Me. So I'm super hyped for it. All the buzz behind it is fucking dope. So horror fans are gonna watch it, but mainstream
So,
media, what's the next big one?
Ballerina on
Ballerina?
June 6th.
Ballerina. That's yeah. Ballerina. But then we know the summer of Superman and Fantastic Four. Excuse me. Fantastic Four. You gotta say
Does
it.
that movie have Pedro Pascal in it? Forget it.
Yes, he does, and the twins
Well,
are gonna be
according to
great.
John, he's gonna die in like the first 5 minutes. So we'll
I already have my outfit for that movie. I'm ready, and I have my Superman outfit ready.
Let's
And
go.
everyone knows I hate Superman, so that's gonna be fun.
I hope it's good.
Oh no,
We got-
I hate the character. Like I love Man of Steel the movie, but I hate the character of Superman, combo character.
I hope it's good.
This guy looks
We'll
sick,
see.
but not fucking Kal-El, bro. Oh, okay, you gotta be a little blue alien. You can't be a big strong alien. Okay, John.
I hope
Stitch
both
beats Superman
movies
in
are
a fight.
good. It's two legacy characters for each comic book franchise, and a lot riding on it as well for those franchises going forward. So high stakes this summer. So we hope they're both good.
So
Ballerina.
real quick, I don't to make our date ahead of time. Are we doing RPX Regal or are you trying to do IMAX for Superman?
We can definitely talk about this offline because he's running out of time of recording time.
And I think you guys should get AMC A-list and go to the real
This guy wants his
IMAX
stock to go up. This guy
in
made
Lincoln
$1
Center.
and all of a sudden he wants his stock to go up even more. Yeah.
I think the real IMAX is in Lincoln Center. It's the big screen, and if you want, you went to see Sinners, it was on the 70 millimeters. That's how Ryan Coogler wanted to be seen, only on the real IMAX. AMC,
Yeah, I mean,
which
you're
also
not
has.
lying, but I'll just pay real money for the real IMAX, and then that's that. Like, it's not that serious.
But as long as you spend the real money at AMC theaters, you know.
On Wednesdays when it's half off, kid.
No. But shout out to everybody watching. We appreciate you. Comment below. Let us know what you think. We'll be back with whatever the next thing is. I think Ballerina. What was the other movie? It was the Talk to Me spinoff. Is it the continuation of it, or is it?
It's from the same directors. I think it's Bring Me to Her or some shit. Fucking
Bring her back.
Bring her back, yeah. But is it in the same? It's not the same vein.
Nah,
though.
just same
Oh,
director.
okay.
all I saw was the poster.
Okay.
All I saw was the poster, and I'm good to go.
That's why I thought they were bringing her back. Cause like, oh, she. Cause remember the
Oh, I
ending.
see what you were saying.
That's what I thought. So, all right, maybe not. So we might do that one. Horror movies is it's a thing. It's out here. A lot of people talking about horror movies now. It started with Sinners. So shout out, comment to everybody. Comment below. Let us know what you think. We'll see you in the next one. Later.
I love you.
Bye, everybody.